Hello, everybody. My name's Alana from Classy on the Run. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Now, you may notice that, well, my background looks pretty similar to most days. This video format is a little different. So I'm introducing my friend Madeline from Classically Contemporary. So in a moment, I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself. But today we are recording. This would be so much more fun to do. I've done some videos with friends before, just like hanging out on my couch, chatting. So we're trying to evoke that feeling, kind of a bit of a podcast. We're just gonna be chatting about some things about quarantine, some things about the current situation, what we're doing, kind of what's on our mind in sort of a, I don't wanna say a light, fun way, but we just, we know a lot of people are having a hard time getting through this. And so we just wanted to make some content that hopefully you guys will enjoy. This is definitely going to be not the most visually interesting video. So if you want, I would recommend grabbing a drink. I have a Diet Coke with a metal straw. If, grab a drink, put this on in the background, feel free to watch this while you're working from home or hanging out with your kids or whatever it is that you're doing during quarantine. Think of us as like your friends that you're hanging out with. Anyways, that's sort of how I wanted to start it and kind of what's on my mind. So
Perfect. Oh, you have lipstick on your teeth.
Oh no.
Girl code. I just noticed at the end. Hey guys, I am Madeline and I've known Alana for probably like 6 years now since we started blogging.
That long?
I think so. I mean, 2014, right? Was that like probably when we started going to events and everything together?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been, I know, it's been quite the ride. Like, you don't really do stuff for that length of time consistently, right? So I think being on YouTube and blogging and everything has been such a constant in our lives. So as you said, my name is Madeline and I write a blog called Classically Contemporary. I found that name in 2012. It came to me as a definition of my style. So the 17-year-old that I was then, I think it's still true to my brand. So what am I drinking?
I love that because, so my blog is Classy on the Run. And
Yeah.
it to me is sort of a reflection of my style and sort of who I wanted to be when I started my blog. And I probably started my blog when I was like 18 maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. So I find it really fun that we were both sort of at the same age and thinking the same thing. But when we started our blogs, we obviously didn't know each other.
Yeah, and it's cool because I think people, you either knew about blogs and were really interested if you were in like the magazine loving world. Like I would look forward to going to the dentist because I could read every magazine there was. And I still love like getting my hands on a print magazine. And I ended up working in the publishing advertising world too. So although I wasn't like a top beauty editor, I maintained my blog and was kind of bumping shoulders with those folks at events, and kind of got into the back end of magazines in my professional life. So
Yeah,
lots of fun.
for me, I was working and studying and had all my friends sort of in the industry that I work in for my day job. And I wanted a sort of a pretty fun creative outlet. And I was always good at doing makeup and my friends were always asking me for tips. So I was like, I can do this. And, I saw some YouTubers and blogs and I was like, I can do that. Like if they can do that, I can do that. And the moment I realized that you don't need to have, Kathleen Lights or Luster Lux or Jaclyn Hill, like production quality to your video.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it can just be you on your couch or you in your bedroom, kind of making the best of what you got. And that I think a lot of people really like that authentic, smaller, mid-sized YouTuber for that reason.
Yeah, it's true. It kind of was a really nice challenge. And when we first met at some events, we won't go into the stories, but I was like, wow, Alana actually has like a big girl career too. And that's something that I always had as my top goal. Like I never wanted to just do this full time or freelance full time, maybe one day, but I don't really think we have the market to thrive as a freelancer in a way that I kind of like, to the extent that I wanted my career to get to. So yeah, I'm like, I totally, it's great to be able to look up to your friends. And I'm such a big proponent, or
Nice.
I guess fan, of having friends that you can look up to, right? So I've always felt that way with you. So
And like, you're so sweet. For me, like I remember I was at an event And we have some like prepared topics that we'll get into at some point.
Yes.
But I was at an event a couple of years ago, and I was talking to someone with a much bigger following than me. And she sort of said like, I made some comment like, oh yeah, like at work today, like not like just offhand. And she sort of looked at me and she was like, you don't do this full time? And I,
Mm.
no. And then she was like, oh, like, are you trying to get to full time? Like, it's hard to get there, but like, you can do that. And I was just like, no, I'm not trying to do this full time. And then she was like, oh,
I know everyone has such different opinions.
I,
It's
I, I love this. This is so fun.
mhm.
But I don't want to do it full time. Like I have
Yeah,
a career and I love doing this and
absolutely.
I can have both.
I know. And before we have kids and everything, this is a good use of our weekends, right?
Yes, but also like once we do have kids, like the
Oh, it'll keep.
blog life,
Yeah.
so many brands want to send you things, so many brands want to sponsor you, and so many
Hmm.
women want to like, they want to hear about motherhood and they want to hear about those early, stages and like what's pregnancy like. And so I definitely look forward to once I am at that stage of life, still having my blog and my YouTube,
Hmm.
sort of letting my content kind of adapt and grow with me. Like,
Right.
it started as just makeup and then it was sort of makeup and travel. And now I'm sort of makeup, travel, and purses. And if I ever get bored of one of those things, then I will just stop talking about it.
Yeah, I like that we're not naming our platforms like lipstick and eyeshadow, because the fact that we can evolve with our life, that was really big for me. And I'm also not crazy about, rebranding or naming everything like Madeline.com, because I think it's fun to keep that old school, like we both have Blogspot blogs still, and just kind of keeping up with like what was cool in 2012. I feel like the whole vintage blogging thing is almost
Yeah.
coming back in a sense.
Oh,
It's fun.
and also like I like having I also say like an element of privacy. I
Hmm.
mean, like I don't know, if anyone put in half a degree of effort, they could probably find my personal Twitter account. But I have a
I know,
personal
it's like,
Twitter that I
yeah.
use for things more related to my career and my industry. And I have a personal Instagram, FYI, that's basically all cat photos right now. And it's not that I'm not proud to put my name on my blog work, but I like the idea of keeping it separate. And I like the idea that, like, when I started my blog, I didn't want anyone to know who I was. Like, I didn't have my face in anything, which, by
Yeah.
the way, is really hard to review makeup when you don't put your face in it.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, like
but
just a cheek.
yeah, or I'd just be like, here's a lip swatch. But like like my colleagues know I have a blog. Like I'm happy to tell anyone. Most people think it's kind of cool. Uh,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I like to keep them separate. Like I like to sort of have one space on the internet where I'm like, here's my smart hot takes on industry things, and then the
Right.
other side of me on the internet where it's like, here's my cat being dumb.
I know. And I've kind of branded everything this same for me, because being in like media communication, social media, it's nice to have a portfolio. That's really why I started having my own website and YouTube in the first place. But yeah, it is smart if you are in more of like a, tight, like uptight kind of environment, to not have a blog, for example, be the first thing that comes up. Not that you should be ashamed
No.
by any means, but it's more so just to like separate those two domains. Oh my God, Kitty.
This is Maggie. She's
She's
3.
the queen.
Half Siberian forest cat, half
She's so
domestic,
perfect.
100% adorable.
She's actually like quite not camera shy. Look at her.
She's just the sweetest princess. Look at those beautiful eyes.
Perfection. Okay,
Sweetest.
I wanted to say what I'm drinking because it's the best thing on earth.
Go for it.
My Tetley tea, but it's a cold infusion tea. This flavor, strawberry watermelon, is literally fantastic. I feel like you'd like it, Alana. It is just like a tea bag. I put it in cold water with ice, and it will just like infuse as time goes on.
Where'd you get
And no sugar, no calories. I feel like putting it in fizzy water would be. So I'm trying
Yes,
that
where do you
next.
get it?
So I got it through ChickAdvisor, but they're just going to be at grocery stores.
Okay. So we are going to like a little link or something for that. I wonder if it's like on Amazon.
Probably. And if I see them in the grocery stores when I'm masked up and ready to go, I'll buy you one. It's so good. So good.
So one of the topics that we'd sort of chatted a little bit about wanting to touch on is weddings in the time of coronavirus. So for myself, this spring, there were 4 weddings I was going to attend. There's going to be one in Ottawa, which was going to be basically, yesterday. So I'm filming this on April 26th. And I was having a really tough time with that one because, of course, I wanted to go to the wedding. But one of my dearest friends, Baden, had her bachelorette planned, and the wedding was in Ottawa, and Baden's bachelorette was in Collingwood. So for those of you not from the GTA or Ontario, the opposite ends of I'm gonna figure out how far it is on Google Maps. Let's just put that in there right now.
Yeah, you need like a helicopter to get from one to the other.
No flights. That I looked. I was like, what if I flew from Ottawa to Toronto and the car from the airport? And so from Toronto, Ottawa's about 4.5 hours east driving, and Collingwood. Okay, Ottawa to Collingwood is a 5.5 hour drive. So my plan was go to the wedding, get in the car, and just drive across the province, and basically do a terrible job at being half there for the bachelorette and half there at the wedding.
It's like that movie, what is it, 21 Dresses, where you're like a professional bridesmaid. That was me last year.
You were so good. And then
passing on the torch.
Yeah, the other, talk about that in a second, because you were like the Rent a Bridesmaid last year.
It's very fun.
The other 3
sad it's over.
One of them was a good friend who apparently watches some of my videos. So if you're listening, Andrea, hi. And I was going to be doing her makeup. Her wedding was going to be in May. My husband's cousin and her wedding was local to the GTA. My husband's cousin was getting married, and they live in Alberta. So we were going to fly out to Calgary in June. And I'm totally blanking on a wedding. Oh, and then the bachelorette that I was going to be at today. We were going to be at the Nordique Spa this morning, right now, basically, at the time of recording. And her bachelorette, was going to be this weekend, and her wedding was going to be in June. And what I found really interesting about the 4 weddings is they've each taken a different approach to dealing with coronavirus.
Oh, wow.
One wedding became a YouTube wedding, and they had it 3 weeks early, and there might be a party next year. I don't really know. One wedding postponed until about October, so they did sort of the 6-month postponement. One wedding, I guess also 2 of them, they postponed. So they postponed from June until December. And then the last wedding, which was the one in Calgary, has actually been pushed back a whole year.
Wow. So
they've all sort of dealt with it in a different way.
That's tough. Yeah, we had one friend, not a direct friend of mine, but I was planning to attend the wedding last weekend, and they still wanted, the reverend was ready to go, so they did a Zoom wedding, and they were in their backyard just with immediate family and friends. So that was really cool to be a part of, because it was actually just nice to be at the wedding ceremony. I actually really enjoyed being there and hearing, the teachings and, wise words and everything. And the reverend was so funny. Because there was some echoing in the Zoom chat, and he was like, the love of God echoes like the Zoom chat.
God just echoed and echoed, and
or love echoes through your relationship like this chat. It's so true, so true. But it was really good. It was fun, and it's nice to still continue with those things in whatever way possible, because I feel like soon, once everything's back up and running, it's probably going to be hard to book even a spot at a church and stuff.
Well,
so
and that's what some of my friends are telling me, is that because wedding season, I had my wedding basically a year ago, so a year plus 10 days ago, which is crazy. But May, June, I know that's, so you've kind of got 2 problems. May and June are sort of traditional wedding season, but the fall is really creeping up there. And if anything, I'd say fall weddings are becoming more popular than spring. And so you've already got a lot of venues are booked for September, October, even into early November. And then you're taking all of these brides from May and June and shoving them into that time period too. So, I know that's one of the reasons why one of my friends ended up with a December wedding. And I know it's not necessarily I know she wanted a spring wedding. But I think, this is tough times for everyone, and it sucks for, I feel so bad for all the brides out there, and honestly, and all my pregnant friends as well. But
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for all the brides, because it's like, this should be their time, like, bridal showers, bachelorettes, the wedding day. And it's like, when you pick a wedding day, like, you pick a season and a time that you're excited about.
I
And you
know.
might always dream of like a spring weddings with peonies in season. I know that was me.
Mm-hmm.
And to lose that, like, I don't know. I just hope that all the brides out there know that, like, it's okay to mourn the loss of the wedding you dreamed of. And it doesn't mean you love your partner less. And it doesn't mean that you're, I don't know, a bad, selfish person. Like, it's okay to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love weddings. I love the parties. I'm such a social butterfly, so I really enjoy going to parties like that. And I think, yeah, this is really kind of a wake-up call for everyone, like all the stuff we take for granted, and how many people complain about having to go to weddings, right? I feel like we've all been there, like, oh, it's expensive. Oh, you have to drive. Oh, you need to get a hotel room. And I feel like, or at least I hope, this will help everybody be more thankful for what we have in the future. And I know the one thing that really keeps me going, I'm lucky I have nothing that's been canceled personally, so it's easy for me to say this, but we're all truly in this together. Like, everybody in this world is in this together in the
2020
worst
would be
way.
the year that didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. Can we just like fall asleep and then have it be 2021? Like,
I honestly, I kind of feel like I fell asleep and it was spring. Like,
yeah,
week 6, I think, of working from home.
I know. I finally, like, I've been through some real ups, some real downs. So I know this can probably lead us into future questions, but it's like, it's been interesting. Very thankful I have my job. If anything, I have more work than usual. I think you feel the same. But yeah,
I mean,
so
my days are busy. I definitely don't miss commuting. I mean, I really don't
mhm,
have a terrible commute. I live in Midtown Toronto. I work downtown. It's a 4-minute walk to the subway.
yeah.
Um, but like, I don't miss commuting. I do definitely miss like just seeing colleagues and saying hi to people. Like, I miss, even just like little things like walking across the street to go to the food court and buy lunch.
I know.
But I'd say the biggest thing, like, and I've said this with lots of friends, so if I'm repeating it to you, I'm sorry. But like, when this is all over, you know what? I can deal without going to restaurants. I can deal without, going to Wonderland. I can deal without traveling, although that's hard for me.
Ugh, I know.
Like, what I really just miss is like, I would just love to be able to have a couple over for dinner. Like, I know
Yeah.
we've done like Zoom kind of date nights with our guys and like playing like board games and stuff, and that's super fun and it's
Yeah.
better than nothing. But I'd love to like have you and Joe over for dinner, or
I
like
know.
go to my parents' house for dinner, or like just having like two healthy people who are not otherwise at risk to my home for
Mhm.
dinner, or us going to theirs.
Exactly. Just that human energy, that like connection with people is
But it
really,
kind
really
of gets
nice.
lost in Zoom. Like, one thing,
I
we
know.
did a Zoom bachelorette for the bride this weekend. We're
Yes.
hoping to do one in person in August.
Okay.
And it was great, and like it was obviously the best thing that we could do given the circumstance. But it's kind of hard because you've got kind of like 10 girls staring at a screen, and you have to take turns talking, and sort of, you can't like break out into little conversations. Like, if
Oh, for sure.
one person said something that at a typical party you could be like, oh my gosh, like, let's go chat about that. Like, you can't
Hmm.
do that.
That's such a good point. Like, actually being able to keep conversations with like real emotion and stuff, it's very, very tough. And then Wi-Fi troubles and delays. It's like, yeah, but we were doing the best we can.
Yeah, and anyways, I just hope all the brides out there, like, I hope that their girl teams and their, bridesmaids and moms and sisters and whoever makes up that world is
Hmm.
really trying to make it extra special for them. I know we're trying to do that, for the brides that I'm closest to, and I just hope that everyone gets to like have that. I don't know, being engaged is just such a special time, because it's like,
Hmm.
and being newlywed's great too, but it's like when you're engaged, it's like everyone's sort of looking forward for you and like excited for you, and it's just such a time of celebration. And so, and in a similar vein, like, I just, for all my friends who are pregnant, like, I just feel so bad that they can't, hang out with their mom or their
Yeah.
aunt, or like, the women who, typically around pregnancy would be kind of with you and celebrating with you, and agreeing things suck with you and whatever goes on in that space. But I think you really, I don't know, I feel like as women, like that's another time in life when you just really need like
more support.
You know?
Yeah, you need your tribe. I know. And like for us, we're lucky because everything can kind of pause or continue as normal with work life and whatnot. Obviously, no one's getting any younger, but but for people, I know, it's okay, don't worry. You still look good. You're like not a day over 20. But with like people who have, people in higher education doing master's, PhD, doctor degrees, like it's so hard because that doesn't stop. Like graduation is not going to be pushed out any further. So you're really essentially losing time. But I mean, still, like I think schools are doing a good job at keeping things rolling. But I really feel for people, or even grade 12s and fourth years.
Like that's another thing in like the girl world.
Yeah.
Of like, I feel so bad for all the girls losing. Like it's just all those little kind of like life milestones,
Yeah, something like that. I know, because since I'm working in education, I've heard a few talks about, having a prom in September or something, if that's even possible, right? But yeah, those things maybe can be pushed here and there. But yeah, all of the studying abroad and things like that, you just really hope that, we'll be able to recreate those experiences for people in the future. But
yeah, so just for any, pregnant women watching, any brides to be, any girls from grade 12, like, feel you. It sucks.
Yeah, you're in this with everybody else, but yeah, hopefully your communities and stuff will recognize the importance of these things and not discredit it just because, you're not the most affected or whatever, right?
Like I don't know, I think it's everyone's losing something in their own way. Like, not to like, I mean, this probably deserves the world's tiniest violin, but we had a trip to Italy planned this summer. We're not going. We're planning on going next year. And then obviously we were going to Calgary for the wedding. So we've lost some travel. We're trying to see the bright side. We're trying to buy a house this year. So, I was definitely excited for those trips and we had budgeted for them. But, now that's, more money to put towards our down payment. But on a bright note, what lipsticks are you wearing?
Oh my God, I was just thinking that because I was admiring yours.
Getting deep. Let's just.
I know it can't be too much of a sad song, but you're gonna love this. I use Dope Taupe in my brows.
Yes, one of my favorites.
You influenced me on that one, and then I have a Wet n Wild lip liner on. Quarantine has allowed me to take time to put on lip liner, which I don't usually. It is Never Petal Down. Really good.
You were going to say the lip color was called Quarantine, and I was going to be like, that.
Oh God. Cool. That would be too fitting. And then I have Pink Blossom Velvet Gel from Marcel. Wow, both of these are like gel formulas.
Beautiful.
I'm into the like blue toned pinks. They feel spring. What are you wearing?
So I was just saying, I was watching a YouTube video. Maybe it was Mel in Melbourne. I'm not sure. I really started watching a lot of luxury purse content as just I don't know if it's escapism, just as something fun to watch. And she recently to me, unboxed a Kelly that like nearly is a perfect match for your lipstick.
Oh my goodness.
Lipstick and then imagining a Kelly purse.
A girl can dream.
Magnolia.
Oh, I'm writing this down.
Yeah, so you need that and I want that. So I'm really over matte lips. I think I've said that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I love this color. So I'm wearing, it's by ColourPop. And the color is called Paparazzi. It's like a matte coral. It's like a matte coral. It's super pretty. And because I'm over matte, I actually have a Charlotte Tilbury lip gloss on top. This lip gloss has been through the ringer. I love it. It's Sweet Stiletto. I think I have 2 or 3 of them. I have like one in my purse. Anyway, so I just put that. It's a beautiful, again, just like a coral. And I just kind of
stunning
topped it off, and it makes it a lot more comfortable and pretty.
Yeah, it's easy to. I like to even touch up with gloss during the day because it keeps your lips a bit more hydrated. Yeah, with mattes, it can get kind of flaky. So it looks good.
On that note, are you wearing makeup in quarantine?
So I started off strong, and then the past 2 weeks, no. And I really, like on Friday, I was just literally wearing like a blanket as an outfit. And I'm like, I've reached my rock bottom. There's that quote, Karl Lagerfeld, like,
but like Sorry.
I'm like, it's rock bottom. It's okay. It was funny because he was like, oh, sweatpants are a sign of defeat. If you buy sweatpants, it means you've given up. And I'm like, I'm there. I reached it. But it's even worse. It's a blanket. So yeah, this week I pulled out because I got like some spring outfits ready, and I couldn't wear them yet because I'm in front of windows and I get kind of cold at my desk. So this week I have my outfits ready to go, and I cannot wait to dress up, and makeup will happen too.
So
what about you?
I started really weak. I was like, working from home. Makeup, nope. Sweat clothes, yep. Hair in a messy bun. It's professional when you brush it. Like on my calls.
Gel down the flyaways, you look good.
And then I'd say about a week or two ago, because at the beginning, I mean, looking back, like who could have known that it would go on for this long or be this serious? Like, I know, at work we were sort of like, oh, like I guess we should try working from home. And then, a couple of days later, the government was like, yeah, everyone, and
at home now.
So when I started working from home, it was more like, what a sweet vacation. Like I, roll out of bed, sit on my couch, gonna answer some emails, be on some Zoom calls. And otherwise I'm just gonna hang with my cats and like do laundry, like basically vacation.
I know. It's literally what we all wanted.
It has not been that at all because, definitely the work I do is very topical. So we've spent, just a lot of our clients need us, just a huge volume of work, and then having that loss of routine, like that loss of having a break from home and work life. So yeah, the first week I was like, this is gonna be really fun. I'm gonna like be a slob. And then I'd say about a week, maybe a week and a half ago, I put on makeup again for the first time in like a month to film a YouTube video, and I was just like, wow, like I feel so much prettier and like happier and just a little bit more normal with it on. So I've been wearing it, I'd say now like maybe like 5 days a week.
Oh, good.
So it's just been like really nice to sort of have that routine back.
I know, even today getting ready for this felt great. I did my sleep in overnight rollers. It's one of my most popular blog posts. We'll link it. And I've been running, like what you said there, doing a routine and feeling more normal. It really reminds me because I volunteer with Look Good, Feel Better, and we've started virtual. It's just like as a volunteer, you feel even better than the people you serve. So I highly recommend it. But yeah, so we do workshops for women undergoing cancer treatment, and the whole premise is obviously to educate on like product hygiene and how your skin and body may change during your chemo and radiation treatments. It's all non-medical, but speaking to that too, just cosmetics and doing your routine, washing your face properly, putting on makeup, like it really does help your sense of self, and making you feel like yourself again.
For sure. And you know what, like, I mean, I will say one thing I'm not willing to give up on is I wear pajama pants all day, every day, unless I'm going grocery shopping. Then I get all dressed up and I put on leggings.
It's awesome.
But I've been wearing like different kind of like cute sweaters. Like I would wear this sweater to work, like with like a cute pair of jeans. It's just from Reitman's.
It's so pretty.
Definitely been trying to have like at least cute on the top.
Yeah.
But
I know. I've flashed my pajama pants a few too many times, so I'm probably going to try and do more just like black pants. The leggings are actually very smart. So the moment I have to like get up and get a book or whatever, it's like, ooh, polka dots.
Okay, so speaking of books.
Yes.
Have you picked up any new hobbies in quarantine? Are you reading more? Are you binge watching things? Like, what are you doing with all that time that you're not commuting, you're not seeing people, you're not going to restaurants, you're not at the mall?
Yeah, well, I'll keep it short. Lots of organizing, lots of like mending stuff. I'm really big on fixing things if they start to look bad, cleaning my shoes, using, little accessories like brooches and whatever to like reinvent a jacket or sweater or something.
You're so good at that. Like you're just like the thrifting queen. I've been reading some of your older blog posts and like watching some of your older videos. Yeah. I have so much time now.
I know, right?
When this is over, like, can we please do a thrifting day?
Yes.
I need to browse and touch things and shop and be with people and buy things.
Absolutely. And especially now, I'm really trying to not shop too much. I think we've talked about this too. Yes, I've been shopping online enough, but I'm really trying to shop my stash and just live and enjoy the things that I have. Live with, all of my little trinkets I've kind of squirreled together, and also like taking inventory. I have like a whole closet full of like garage sale or donation items too. So it feels really good to just get things out. Well,
And
eventually,
kind of on
hopefully.
that topic, like, and I'll get to my hobbies
Yes.
because I know we're hoping to keep this video at about half an hour for you guys. And if you guys do like this video, please leave comments down below on anything you find interesting. And
Thumbs
if
up,
you like
thumbs
it,
up.
I'm sure we'd be, yeah, thumbs up. If you guys like it, I'm sure we'd be willing to do another segment just as something fun.
Yeah, I have no plans.
But kind of speaking of like shopping our stash and not spending as much money, like the Sephora sale this year,
Hmm.
I didn't really feel inspired to buy a lot. Like I bought a makeup eraser wipe because I got one through a box or something and I liked it, but having one, like you kind of want to have like a clean one and so I bought one of those. I did buy a hair tool because mine broke,
Hmm.
but I've already told myself if it's not perfect, I'm returning it the moment I can. And a little bit of skincare.
Nice.
Like not a big haul, not stuff I've had my eye on, just sort of restocking some skincare. And I wouldn't have bought the hair tool if mine didn't break.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of shopping my stash and doing a lot more skincare too. So I have had to repurchase things, and I did a bit of shopping for gifts. There are so many spring babies, including you, in my life. So I did do some shopping for my sister, not at Sephora because I'm just BI, Beauty Insider, because I do all of my shopping at Shoppers Drug Mart at
Honestly,
the
probably smarter move.
what's that?
The point system, like
Oh, it is. Well, and I can also then like throw in some cleaning supplies and everything with my shop. Yeah, so no Sephora sale for me because Shoppers does give me more points and money off. But I
and
did
your
do,
points are actually worth money,
I
not
know.
like not like here's a little lip gloss for
Well,
you.
I was mentioning I really wanted the Benefit 500 point perk. I know you love Benefit too. And it had like the brow thing and then a little bag that said like babe on watch or something, like a little lifeguard like
They
bag. It
always
was so cute. Pardon?
they always have the cutest little like swag.
Well, the Benefit like packaging marketing is my favorite. It's
I'm actually
always been.
wearing Benefit Precisely My Brow today. So I love them and I love ColourPop Dope Taupe. And then I'm wearing
Nice.
my all-time favorite concealer, which is their airbrush concealer, as my eyeshadow base today.
I love it.
Love
Yeah,
my
so I know the fact that like the little extras that I wanted weren't available, I was just okay for it.
nope,
Just forget
I
it.
totally with you. I'd say
Yeah.
quickly, in terms of new hobbies, I told myself I was going to do a lot of reading. I failed. I
It's
failed.
hard.
I have 2 books I really want to read. I'm gonna try. But we've been doing a great job at cleaning up the apartment. I've probably taken like 3 garbage bags full of like I went through a bunch of my lippies and like I smelt them and they had that like waxy smell where they're expired.
Hmm.
So I've been doing things like thinning down my beauty stash and thinning down some of the clothes that I don't really like. That I'm just like, I don't feel pretty when I wear this.
Hmm.
Why do I own it?
Hmm.
I've definitely been painting. I bought a whole bunch of painting supplies.
So fun.
So that's been really fun. And I sent one to my grandma. Well, I sent one to both of my grandmas, one for her birthday and one because one of my grandmas lives with my parents, and my other grandma, who we call Nan, lives in a retirement home.
Hmm.
And so she's, obviously not seeing people right now. So I sent her both just little paintings of peonies, and they both really like them.
That is
Grandma.
such a good idea.
So I know my grandma always likes it when I mention things on social media.
Yeah,
Usually
I
my
love
dad
that.
does it. But my grandma knitted me this beautiful blanket
Oh, wow.
gift. And it's like this perfect gray and has this like beautiful, like kind of like scalloped edging. And she sent it to me
Amazing.
and it's so soft and perfect. And I'm trying to find it. It has the cutest little tag. Must be on the other end. And then
So nice.
okay, where is this adorable tag? It has a
I
cute
know.
tag on it.
The
Says,
Lost Art of Handmade Gifts. Oh yeah, it
oh, here it is. And it says, made with love by grandma. So she
so
makes like
perfect.
neutrals, and my grandma's just like a knitting queen. Like she knits blankets for the hospital. that like that gets sold in gift shops. If you have
Mm-hmm.
a baby, she like loves making pajamas, and again just makes a ton of stuff and donates it to local hospitals. But she made me this blanket, and so I've just been sort of keeping it on my couch and kind of when I get chilly when I'm working on my couch.
What a gem.
It's
You
nice.
could definitely, you could make an outfit out of that blanket, no problem. I'll tell you how it's done. Okay.
It's something like this.
Just belt it. That's my, I literally put like a hair clip or a brooch in any kind of like knitted sweater. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready for my Zoom call. I have glitter.
Maybe let's do one more quick question, then we'll wrap up.
Sure. We can do like 3, even like quick fire.
3 quick fire? Okay. When this is all over, what is the first thing you want to do?
Get my hair trimmed and like go out for tacos.
I'd say mine is honestly, preferably with a friend.
Yes.
Go to HomeSense. I want to like walk down the aisles, and I don't know if you heard my cat's really sad meow, but like she's with me. I kind of like, Peggy, it's like you're being tortured. Okay, I just want to go to HomeSense and like buy throw pillows and touch things I don't need and like buy decor. And that's for me, like I love just walking through Winners and HomeSense and like finding deals and finding cute little things. And you just it's not the same online, because online it's like you have to like search for the item you need. And at HomeSense, all the items you didn't know you need are just waiting there for you. And like, for example, I decided this year, before this whole quarantine thing, that I was finally gonna get like sort of a seasonal throw pillows. So I bought these ones at Christmas. This is one of them.
Pretty. You have the best decor.
Yeah, but I'm still using it because by the time I sort of thought of getting new ones in March, like I kind of felt like the Christmas trees with plaid could sort of get me through February. I'm not really a big Valentine's Day person, so I don't want to buy like those. But I thought that I would, like get some spring ones around Easter. And yeah, I just want to get like cute little throw pillows.
I know, stumble across things.
Spray and like our whole home decor is very neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I like having the pops of color and texture in terms of pillows.
So fun. I know I've been doing like little touch-ups around my house too, even just like putting up paintings that I wanted to, put up, or taking things down, touching up the paint, and like that's made me want to go to IKEA so bad. I love IKEA, and they're like as is section too with all the deals. That is
yes. Buy a house this year. I want to go to IKEA and like
invite me.
Okay, here's another question. What things from quarantine do you think will be long lasting?
Hopefully like good cocktail recipes. I've started like being a little bit more creative, and it's been wonderful. So taking the time to do stuff like that, because it is worth it.
I definitely hope that like things like home cooking or having meals with your family will be long lasting.
Mm-hmm.
And I also hope, so there are a lot of things I love about work from home. And I sort of tell myself that working from home in the normal world is different than working from home in quarantine. Mm-hmm. When you're working from home in quarantine, I can't go to HomeSense. I can't go to IKEA. I can't, go to the little sushi place at the end of the street. I can't go into the office a couple days a week. I can't get together with friends. So it feels very isolating. But, I think that if I was able to work from home a couple days a week, go into the office a couple days a week, but still otherwise be social and see people, that it'd be really nice to work from home and have my laundry machine going. And I think, I think this has been like a big, almost global, but definitely national experiment for a lot of people working from home. And I think a lot of people have shown that, work is still getting done.
Exactly. We can prove our efficiency
from home. I feel like I've sort of like proven my ability to do work from home.
Me too.
And so I'm hoping that when this is all over, that work will be like, you know what? It's okay if you work from home 1 or 2 days a week. It's like, I don't want to see my colleagues. Like, I really like my colleagues, but I also would love to be at home, not commuting 1 or 2 days a week, sort of having a little bit less stress in that sense. And it's even opening up a conversation between my husband and I of, if we are able to work from home longer, do we want to maybe buy a house a little further out of the city? Not far, but that sort of opens us up to new opportunities like that.
It's true. And capitalize on a bit more space, and then you'd have the opportunity to be flexible.
Storage space. I would kill for storage space.
I know.
Okay. And we're going to do two last questions. What have you been doing to stay connected?
Oh yes, staying connected. Doing this. I was gonna say, yeah, like doing Zoom calls. I had a FaceTime with my friend Sibyl in France, like things that we wouldn't have really thought to do otherwise. So definitely like hour-long calls with friends. When could you feel like super chill about having an hour or hour and a
Who
half
calls their
long
friends?
conversation?
Who calls their
Pardon?
friends?
I know. And like it was amazing. We're
Me all
always
the time now.
I know we were always so distracted, as like a generation. I feel like we're at dinner and it's like, okay, what's next? Like just waiting for the next thing.
I hate it when you're hanging out with friends and they're just like,
It's the worst. It's like, why are we even together? Yeah.
yeah,
And I think we've all been there, but
yeah. I try my
some
best,
people are bad.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like okay. For me, I'd say in terms of staying connected, so much Zoom. If only I bought Zoom stocks in January. Um, so much Zoom. Um, we do kind of a weekly family Zoom games night on Thursday nights. I know that we've done some Zoom nights with our guys. I've done Zoom nights with different friend groups. And a lot of people are really just enjoying it, especially I find my friends with young kids as a chance to like pour a glass of wine and just have grown up conversation. And so, I think we've been trying to do that both because I love it and it's fun for me, but also it's sort of a way to be there for your friends too.
Absolutely.
I've been doing that. And then what are you grateful for?
Yes. Okay. So definitely the spike in motivation that I felt thanks to staying connected with people. I feel like when I'm just in my head, doing my own thing, I can get really unmotivated. So being motivated and also the sunlight and having longer daylight, moving into spring,
Yeah.
it has boosted my mood. So
Honestly,
really
the
good.
more daylight boosts my mood and is also a big part of the reason why I'm back filming videos for YouTube. I find it really hard to film in the winter,
Hmm.
especially when I get up in the morning, it's dark, I get on the subway, I get off the subway, it's kind of light, I
Hmm.
work all day, I leave the office, and oh, look, it's dark. Get
I
on the
know.
subway, get off the subway, it's still dark. Get home, it's dark, and did I mention I'm freezing?
I know.
So I always find it hard to film in the winter. But
Absolutely.
having the more light is definitely part of me filming more. And it's also, yeah, just like happier. It makes me want to clean. Like, I don't know, when you have like sun like pouring and light pouring through like your window, I don't know, it puts me in a mood to clean.
I know. It highlights all the dust too. That's what I've been finding.
Maybe
I'm
that's,
like, oh, I need to go vacuum that, but then it feels so good.
yeah.
But I
We
know
cleaned just before this call and I'm just like looking at my apartment. Like, wow.
it's good. I know. It
Yeah.
makes you feel really uplifted.
So I guess I'm definitely grateful for sunlight. And I'm also just grateful that as much as things suck, like, it sucks that I'm not going on my trip that I was looking forward to this summer. Um, for me, I just know that there are lots of families out there with, who have either experienced job loss. I think the last time I saw it was it 6 or 10 million people have applied for the government funding through SUR, but it's like a huge part of the population has lost their job and lost income. So I feel really grateful that I can work from home. And I also just kind of, feel really grateful that, like, I haven't had anyone close to me, pass away from the disease. I haven't had anyone, like, we don't really, between Stuart and I and our immediate families, we don't have anyone in a frontline job. With some of my more extended family, we do. But just feeling really grateful that, I don't know, that like my way of contributing to the health of the nation is putting my butt on my couch and watching YouTube videos.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Just a few people, friends of a friend or neighbors of my family and stuff have been hit really kind of close to home or personally with the virus. And so thankful, knock on wood, that my grandparents are so far so good and everybody is just kind of hunkering down and trying to make the most of it. I know if it was 1 year in the future, like my boyfriend could have been, working in hospitals and like totally exposed. So although this is not easy, yeah, it's
No, I'm just really thankful that neither of my grandmas have it and that neither my parents nor Stuart's parents.
oh God. I
Uh,
know you guys have been through a lot of amazing like achievements and kind of personal feats in terms of health and everything too.
had
So
quite the year, and it's left us with some immunocompromised people, but they're still here, and so just knowing that they don't have it, and, that they're not like being put at risk by having, someone like going out to the grocery store every day as an employee and coming home. And
Yeah,
so
I know. And
I just remind myself that, like, yeah, this kind of sucks, but it could be so much worse. And there's so many
yeah,
Canadians who are, doing so much more and have it so much worse,
I know.
that
Yeah.
it almost feels like if I were to complain, it would just feel silly.
I know. I was watching our premier speaking, and he's like, look at how much we've accomplished, like just by banding together. Like, I know we're all getting antsy, but it's like, just be proud of how much we have been able to overcome and how flexible everyone has been. Like, it's truly insane to think about how everybody has literally just pivoted completely in a few weeks. So yeah,
And
just to keep that in mind.
if there's one thing I loved, I think it was yesterday. There was a big protest at Queen's Park with people
Mhm.
with, really pressing needs. Like, one guy had a sign that said, "I need a haircut." It's like, guess what? I cut Stuart's hair. It wasn't great, but I did it. And people were
And
protesting.
someone needs their grandma back. Like,
Yeah, it's like, people were protesting that, they want to like get back to work. And the premier, instead of, what you see in the States where people be like, yeah, like, let's get back, and the leadership there, the premier is like, basically called these people morons. He didn't say the word moron, but he was just really upset, riled up. And it's hitting close to home. Like, his mother-in-law just tested positive for COVID-19, and she's in a senior's home.
so rough.
And, so it's just like, just remembering that there's so many people out there who have it so much worse. And like, all you have to do is stay home. And like,
Absolutely.
stay home with my husband. And yes, I want to see my friends and I want to hang out with my parents. But you know what? It's like, staying home is how we keep all of our grandparents alive.
Exactly. And it has been very confusing. And I know that can make people upset, myself too. Like, messaging has been in every direction, at
Yeah.
least what I've heard. So just trying to take things as seriously as we can. You hear just ridiculous conversations of people saying, oh, we've taken it too far. Oh, like, do we really need to have this level of, safety measures put in? It's like, yes, actually, it's probably a great idea to just be safer than sorry. Like, do you want to die? So it's
Like, I don't like lining up at the grocery store.
yeah, it's like, who is benefiting from this? No one. No one's doing this on purpose, like to benefit, right? It's really just to save lives and give, the medical teams time to advance. And boy, have there ever been advancements. I feel like this is the fastest that research has ever moved.
And
So
seeing the Ontario economy just turn on a dime to producing face masks and PPE,
yeah,
places that like were clothing manufacturers or car manufacturers are like, nope, we make face masks now.
I know, it's
And just
amazing.
seeing everyone, corporate Canada stepping up to the plate largely, seeing everyday people, like, I don't know, I think we have a lot to be thankful for in, are things perfect? No. Like, could, leadership have made some different choices? Sure. But overall, we're doing pretty okay in Canada.
Yeah.
And if all I have to do to contribute is stay home and film this segment with you on Zoom rather than having you right here,
I know.
like,
We'll be together soon.
I do find it really funny, though, for those of you who don't know, her boyfriend lives in the same building complex as me.
Yeah.
So we actually had a games night where it was like, they're so close.
I know, we're like separated by a wall.
Like, I can literally look up
like, knock. I know.
It's going to be worth it. Hopefully, if we all do our part, we get summer. I know this video definitely went over the time that we thought it would, but that everyone watching it enjoyed it or found it interesting or found it not terrible or whatever. I definitely, like, we want you guys to be part of the conversation. So leave some comments. I know we're both going to comment back. And if you have any questions or things you want us to discuss in the future, I'm sure we'd be happy to do this again, just as something, I don't know, to be talking about what's going on. And I know that watching YouTube videos sort of makes me feel like I have like a friend there.
I know. I love podcasts. Like, just listening, especially to local podcasts, like somebody I can relate to, is awesome. So join the combo.
It's like a podcast video. I mean, if you actually watch the whole thing, you will have seen my cat was often right there. But, when we came up with this idea, it was really that you would just put this in a tab on your computer and be doing whatever it is you're doing. So I hope
Exactly.
you guys enjoyed it. I really hope the video quality turned out well on Zoom. I know we're both just using webcams. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and look forward to hearing from you guys. And I don't know, do you have any parting words?
No, this was so much fun. It's really uplifting, and I hope that we've, given you something to think about, or maybe given you a few laughs. But we definitely should do this again, maybe like
Honestly,
a
even if it
bi-weekly
sucked,
thing.
I just want to do that again because I think this was fun.
So good. Get ready on a Sunday to hang out with a girlfriend.
Yeah, because
Yes.
this is so interesting. And I guess my parting word is just stay the fuck home.
To keep it simple, stay home.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace out.
Bye.
Okay, bye.